Hey, checking in again today. I'm going to be doing the next video of 1,000 Pound Sisters. So this is season 6, episode 4, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's season 4. This one will probably be a little bit quicker, shorter, just because not too much happened in this episode. It was nice. It was a Christmas-based episode. And, I love Christmas. Christmas is like the most stressful time of the year, but also can be one of the most wonderful, heartfelt, caring, warm times of the year, too. So I do enjoy Christmas. I just find it very stressful, especially as I've grown older and, started a family and all of those things. It becomes a bit draining. But the episode starts off with Amy and Tammy spending some time together. They take the kids to go see Santa and Christmas activities together, which I thought was really nice. And they talk about how they want to make the kids' Christmases good. And, now that they're divorced, it's kind of, what's the word? Just, yeah, that part, it's very heartfelt, very warm, very caring. So the next part of the episode, it continues on and goes to Amy's house. And I thought it was very funny how instead of a regular tree, it's like this felt tree that they put on the wall. I thought that was actually pretty clever because when you have toddlers, it's kind of hard to deal with, like all the decorating, the tree, the ornaments, and things like that. So I could see where she's coming from. She hangs up this felt piece of fabric, and then you can like put different ornaments on it. And Tammy remarked that it was kind of like pin the tail of the donkey, but pin the tail of the tree. So that was great. But this episode in general, it's pretty light. Doesn't really go too much into their journeys. It mainly talks more about Christmas and the family drama, and the whole name of the episode is that they're still split, right? The family's still split during the holidays, which I think is a shame. The holiday season is meant to be with family. It's meant to set your differences aside and come together, right? Just like Thanksgiving and, just kind of be a family. And Chris even mentions that because Amanda ends up dropping this huge bombshell on Amy that she's not going to be there for Christmas activities or Christmas. I guess she has a boyfriend now, believe it or not. Yeah, I guess they are online dating, and she decides she wants to go visit him in Florida instead of being around a toxic family dynamic. But of course, she is kind of part of the root of it. So I think overall it's a good idea that they take a break from each other and, cool off a bit. But it's kind of bad timing because, the holiday season, everyone wants to be together. And Chris, you can tell he's very upset about it. He just wants everything to be normal again, right? He's an optimist, and he's also seems like he just wants to skip the drama and just enjoy the family. There's a part of the episode where Amy goes to get new shoes, and this was kind of an NSV moment, which is a non-scale victory, I guess. I really like those moments as well. I've had a couple, and they really feel good. They really pull up your motivation again when you're feeling down. And I wish I could bottle up that feeling and keep it forever, right? But you can't do that. So she goes shopping with her friend. They go to the shoe store to get shoes for the kids, but they also are getting shoes for Amy. And she said she's never really worn heels, or if she did, it was painful, which I totally related to because I absolutely hate high heels. I hate them with a passion. I don't like wearing them. They hurt your feet, especially when you're bigger. Your feet get swollen, and I don't know if it gets better when you're thinner, because the times I was thinner, I didn't really wear heels at all either, because I've always found heels to be painful, right? I don't see why we should force ourselves to wear something that hurts just for the sake of looks, you know? There's perfectly good shoes out there without heels that look cute, that are comfortable, and you're not, crying inside, pretending that everything's hunky dory. But she decides to get heels. And the first heels, they're kind of wobbly and they're very thin heels, which I really hate those. To have some real balance to wear them, right? But she's walking down for the camera and she almost falls. I think she does fall at points. And the shoes lady's really nice about it. And she gets her another pair, which is, a thicker heel, probably much better, a much better option for her. She puts those on and she can walk in them. And it's kind of a sweet moment because she starts to tear up and she's just so proud of herself. And I really love that for her. It's a very inspiring moment. She does have, more to go, especially if she wants skin surgery. But just that feeling when you reach a goal that you haven't, been able to do maybe ever or for a long time, right? It's like someday I'd like to wear my old pants and I know that day when they finally button up again, it's the best feeling in the world and I'm happy for her. I genuinely am happy for her. I want her to keep going. I don't want her to quit. I want her to be happy and, you know, mentally and physically be healthy. So let's hope that it continues this way. But you know how reality shows are peaceful for one or two episodes and then something happens. But this episode's pretty peaceful overall. Like I said, that moment was very heartwarming and wonderful and wholesome. Later on, Tammy goes with Chris to go golfing, I guess, but this was kind of Chris's way to nudge her into another direction, into driving, because he wants her to be more independent, right? He wants her to really do her best to learn how to drive because, to be honest, it is going to be a drama if she moves in with them and she can't drive. It's just for sure there's going to be conflict because she's going to be asking them to take her places, get groceries, do this and that. And Chris even mentions that she's just been spoiled her whole life and she's used to getting things handed to her and having people do things for her. So it's important that she learns how to drive and becomes independent again and does these things for herself. But you can tell she kind of was not having it. She didn't want to because they're driving on the way there. And he mentions this to her and she gets all, I don't know the word, just upset. You could tell her face changes and she's totally against it. But it ends up becoming kind of wholesome too, just like the shoes, because they go and she's kind of against it, but he kind of brings out a happy side to her. I noticed that Chris and her get along very well, and he mentioned that they get along the best out of all the siblings. But he manages to get her to smile a bit and laugh, and it's really cute and wholesome. So he manages to get her in the driver's seat of the golf cart, which was, kind of hard in its own because she did not want it. She was just totally against it. There's a fear because she was having flashbacks of that tractor. That tractor was out of control. I don't know what happened, if it was rigged or just, I don't know. She lost control. Once you lose control and you're not thinking anymore, that's when, bad stuff can happen, right? And she was kind of letting her anxiety take over again. Anxiety is it's an awful thing. It can really control you and pull you down and just mess with your life, right? So she was getting anxious, but Chris kind of joked around with her, made her smile. Like I said, he's pretty good at getting her to relax and calm down. He managed to get her of her comfort zone and she did drive and she was very afraid, but she started smiling after a while and she was enjoying it and it was nice. It was another NSV moment, right? Those NSV moments. It was another nice moment that you see how far she's come. And I just say this all the time. Tammy is so inspiring to me. She started off at what? Her highest weight was 800 pounds or so. So just the fact she was practically bedridden, she couldn't do anything. She could barely get off the couch, much less drive, right? Now she's what, like several hundred pounds down, and she's driving a golf cart like it's nothing. So I was just so happy for her, and it was such a nice moment. There was a little drama when she almost crashed into this tree, but honestly, that was because, she probably wasn't paying attention. She got a little too confident and she didn't, hit the brakes right away. And it's like that anxiety kind of takes a hold of you and you forget, like, oh yeah, you should hit the brakes. And Chris tells her, he's like, you got to hit the brakes. You got to hit the brakes on time. And it's funny. And I don't know. I feel like if instead of Chris being there, if it was Amanda instead, or Amy, I feel like it would have turned into this huge drama and this huge fight because, they're kind of negative. They're kind of this negative personality. They're pessimistic most of the time. I mean, I don't want to judge too much because we don't see the full picture with these shows, but what I've seen, Chris is more optimistic and happy and tries to make light of a difficult situation, whereas the other siblings, something bad happens, it's bad, and they'll take it up a notch, and it'll cause this tension and anxiety. And Tammy needs someone that can keep her grounded, can edge her back into being independent, like Chris said. So I think Chris is just the perfect person for her to move in with, just for that reason. Of course, everyone's human. Chris is not, perfect. He's going to get tired. He's going to get emotional too. I hope that things work out for them because by the end of the episode, they do have Tammy move into their house because the house next door still isn't ready. And it's funny because Amy and their other sibling come over and look at the house. It is hilarious. You can just see the looks on their faces when they see the lawnmower and the carpet and they look at that. They are like, she can't live here. She can't live here yet. It's not going to be ready in time. So Chris admits that to Tammy that it's just, you have to move in with us and it's going to be temporary, a couple weeks only. But she moves into, it looks like one of the kids' bedrooms because it's got, boys bedding and looks like Spider-Man and stuff. So I feel for Tammy because that's got to feel weird going into a new space that it's not yours. And then Chris's wife, it's awful. When Tammy comes in, she barely acknowledges her. She doesn't say a word to her, barely. And then when Chris comes in, she finally starts talking. She just kind of makes it awkward. Instead of trying to make the situation better, she just makes it awkward. And I understand introverted people are like that. I'm introverted. I don't like to talk too much. But the way she did it, it just seemed like she was trying to start drama. Or, I don't know, she was just irritated. It felt like she was irritated, right? And yeah, that's pretty much the episode. There's also a scene where they go to this restaurant and they do this game called Bad Santa. I didn't get the game at first. And when I saw the gifts, I was like, this is a horrible gift giving. What are these gifts? I was so upset. They gave her like this. Amy got this gingerbread that's on a pole, practically pole dancing. And Tammy got a pickle, and there was these weird socks. But no, the game was Bad Santa. You're supposed to have these awful gifts, and then you can trade them with other gifts if you want, which I thought was weird too, because I didn't know the game. I was like, why would you trade a gift someone picked out for you? But no, it's because it's supposed to be that way. It's bad gifts, and you choose the one you like the most. And I thought it was cute after I knew that. But that was the episode. It was kind of shorter. This video is kind of shorter just because there's not too much to talk about. There was some NSVs, which I thought were nice. Some nice wholehearted moments. Amanda's taking off. They're still divided. She's going to Florida. Chris is mad about that. His wife is mad about Tammy moving in. Tammy's feeling awkward because she's going to be in this strange room. And they don't know for sure when that house next door is going to be done. It looks like it's going to take months. To me, it looks like it needs that much work, but just saying it's going to take a couple weeks. So, I don't know. We'll see. He works, right? We'll see. And we'll see what happens in the next episode. So, stay positive, stay optimistic, stay motivated, do something for your journey today. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.